second half today?
Just try to guard the three-point line a little bit better. I think they were 6 for 10 from three in the first half. 4 of those 6 were transition threes. So just have a more of an urgency to stop the three-point shot. But they still got off and hit 5 threes in the second half. So, again, give Idaho State some credit. They're a tough team to defend because they have multiple shooters.
Coach, Idaho State's coach volunteered basically that you guys wore them down physically in the second half. You're a tough, strong team, and that is the reason for being a second half team. Is that? I mean, because it's really beginning to stand out now after 6 games. That really you put it on in the second half. First half, a little bit of a struggle sometimes. So how would you explain that?
I hope so. It's really nice of Coach to say that. I've never thought of it like that, but we do take a lot of pride in playing, 40 minutes of basketball. We talk about that a lot. It's not a 20-minute game. But I think we have shown some great, perseverance and execution in the second half this year. We've just got to figure out how to get off to a little bit better start. And if we can ever put 2 halves together, I think we could be a really good team.
Chris, it kind of seems like here through the first stretch of the year that you guys kind of get off to a little bit of a rocky start offensively, but then in the second half you really get it rolling. Do you think that kind of has to do with these guys still kind of trying to figure out how to play with each other and kind of get in a groove in your offense?
Yeah, I mean, tonight we shot almost 60% in the first half. We were playing pretty well. I think, it's an early season. I don't know if enough data to really say that we're struggling offensively in the first half, but I'll say this: in the second half, we've made some adjustments and give the players all the credit. They're the ones executing the changes that we've made. In the last 3 or 4 games, we've made some changes from first half to second half, and that's very difficult to do unless you have a veteran team like we do. But the first half, we've studied it. Some of our slow starts have been defensively, and some of our slow starts have been offensively. So, we're working tirelessly to try to figure out how to become a better team for 40 minutes.
Coach, Matt touched on it. I think it's 3 and 4 days as far as games, or 4 and 7. Did you see maybe with some tired legs some of the mental toughness that you wanted to see out of this team, especially the second half? It seemed like a guy like Zach has all of the physical attributes, but really was putting the effort forth today too.
Yeah, I thought so. Absolutely. Zach got us off to a great start in the second half, made some aggressive drives early, made some defensive plays. That's where all the mental toughness comes in. It's not like, football where each play you can substitute or take a quick break. I guess not the way they play football these days, but, it's a game where there's a time where you're really tired, but the game's going on. Your teammates at the scores table ready to come in, but you got to find that other level. And I've always thought that that's mental toughness. And, we do that in practice a lot of times. We'll push the guys, we'll condition, run a couple hard sprints, and then jump into a drill. And so I think today in the second half we finally saw a little bit of that carryover between talking about mental toughness and actually being tough.
Is there an update on Ross?
Yeah, so Ross right now I think is just kind of day-to-day. He took a hard fall in Cancun, and we just want to be careful more than anything. So we're really hopeful he'll be joining the team very, very soon.
Thomas has kind of been through a lot, having transferred and followed you, kind of a testament to you as a coach. What's it like as a coach to see him, kind of how far he's progressed and getting the minutes he is and the stats he is?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot because, all coaches, ourselves included, we have things that we believe in. We have a process. We have a culture. And you're always looking for results. You're always trying to show your players that if you put in the time, this is what can happen. And Thomas is like just a walking demonstration of what our program is about. If you put in time in the gym, your game gets better. If you remain unselfish, good things happen. And he's just a tough kid. So I think what kind of gets lost in the Thomas Bransman story is he's a pretty good player too. And, tonight to score, I think, 8 points in 10 or 11 minutes, he's putting a little pressure on me to play him more.
Coach, what changed for Keenan Evans? First half, 2 points, 16 minutes. Second half, 16 minutes, 14 points.
Just trying to be more aggressive. Keenan's a pleaser. He wants to do so well. He wants to do exactly what the coaches want him to do. He takes a lot of pride in being our point guard and executing what we want, but sometimes you just got to let the game come to you. So, I'm saying offensive patience, but if he has an open three, he's got to take that. So I think as time goes on, Keenan and I will continue to get on the same page, but Tonight, I was really proud of him in the second half, just being really aggressive. He's one of our better shooters. We want him to shoot the ball when he's open. Our team needs him to score for us to be the kind of team we want to be. And so I thought tonight he did a great job being aggressive.
Naeem seemed to have his best offensive game so far of the year. I guess why do you kind of think today was the day it kind of clicked for him?
Yeah, so Naeem's been battling a lot of adversity too. You know, he got kind of ill. He joined us in Cancun a day late. And so he's just been overcoming a lot of personal stuff, but he's working really hard to get back on the court. Today you saw glimpses of what he can do. Offensively, he's probably our most talented one-on-one player. He can create his own shot. He does a lot of things off his ability. As he continues to learn our system more and to learn what it's like to play at this level, he's going to end up being one of our key players. But I thought tonight, you know, having not practiced in a long time, having been sick, to come out here tonight and really produce with his minutes played was a great sign.
Coach, defensively, you only allowed four assists from those guys. They turned them over 17 times. That's great. On the other hand, they hit 48% of their three-pointers. So I was wondering if you could just comment on that.
Yeah, it was a focal point in this game to try to guard the three-point line. We didn't quite get it done. I'd have to go back and watch the film to see why, but I know we gave up a lot of transition threes. And so Idaho State plays in kind of a unique way. You know, they run down the floor and they run to spots. So you're used to protecting the basket first, but in this game it's almost like you have to protect the three-point line first. So our guys just made a couple of mistakes. And then give Idaho State credit. I mean, they're a really good shooting team. I think when they get back home and they get into their conference and start playing those kind of games, they could have a good season because they really, really shoot the ball. And we saw it for 2 days in Cancun. We got a chance to see them play live, and we were really concerned with the way they shot the ball, and they proved to be as good as we thought, you know, especially in the first half.
It's early, but what have you learned about this team so far?
Yeah, so that's one of the big reasons I think we all play in these multi-team events. You know, you learn a lot about your team. You get to play against different styles. I mean, think about our team. We played against Auburn, one of the fastest tempo teams in college basketball. Then less than 24 hours later, we played against a Utah State team that really executes in the half court. They run sets, and they had some talented forwards. And then less than 24 hours later, you come back and you play an Idaho State team that really spreads you out and shoots the ball. So we've had a chance to throw a lot of different information at our guys and ask them to play different from game to game. We've done well in some regards, and we've shown room for improvement in others. I also think that we continue to be a team that could be a balanced team. Tonight we had 5 guys in double figures, a couple others right there at that 8 or 9 mark. We've had different people step up. Anthony Livingston, you know, played great against Utah State. Tonight wasn't quite his night offensively, so the next guy steps up. And I think that's what I'm learning the most about our team is that just like we thought, the identity of our team seems to be our balance and how we have different players. So I think it's a team where, you know, we might not end up having some kind of dominant leading scorer, but I think we could literally have 7 or 8 really good players in the Big 12, and this could lead us, you know, to being competitive year one.